Well, welcome to the first ever edition of Too Twisted for TV on the KARK Fox 16 Plus app.
Vortex.
It's looks like the movie, doesn't it? I've got my first guest, a man who absolutely needs no introduction whatsoever. He's a legend in Arkansas television.
That just means I'm old, Todd.
Okay, you're an icon.
I've gotten there.
You're an icon.
Okay.
Former chief meteorologist. Retired now, Ned Perme. And let me just first say that this man right here is the reason why I came back to Little Rock in 2005. And he's the reason why I would say about a 95% of the reason why I'm here at KARK as chief meteorologist.
That's because we stayed in touch with each other.
We did.
Right?
And you looked out for me both times.
Yeah, I did.
And I can't thank you enough for that.
When you first showed up, when we had an opening at Channel 7, where I used to work here, we had an opening, and you showed up in a bunch of piles. That's when people were applying a lot for jobs in television.
On VHS tapes, right?
Right.
Right. Some people don't know what a VHS tape is now.
But you showed up in a big pile of tapes that our news director was looking through. And you know the story because I've told you. But for some reason, I saw your tape and I really liked it. But the news director kept putting it into the no pile.
Randy? Yeah, go ahead. I got his number.
Putting it into the no pile.
Yeah.
And then I would watch it again, and I would kind of slip it back in to the yes pile. And anyway, long story short, it was such a good move. I really love the fact that you were from Little Rock. You knew Arkansas. You knew the environment, and it was going to be an easy learn for you.
Yeah. And I will forever be thankful for what you did for me.
Well,
so I hope I do this all right for you.
It was great. Hey, thank you for letting me be your first guest on Too Twisted for TV.
And see, you get extra here than you don't get on television. Yeah. So,
and I'm not getting paid, right?
Well, hey, I did get you lunch,
got me lunch
at your east location, your east office.
Yes.
So we had lunch today.
So we're good.
All right. So I want to talk, there are so many things that happened in your 34 years in television in Little Rock alone.
And then I was 6 years in Mobile, Alabama, and that equaled 40. And that was enough.
Yeah. The things that you have seen, especially in Little Rock over that 34 years on the air, and the stories that people don't know that would probably have them rolling over laughing so hard, but also just dear memories that you've had on television in this market.
Yeah.
I think of the legends that came through here too, Paul Eels, and take me out to the ball game.
Paul and I were very close friends, and he was older than I was, but we were very close, and we did a lot of traveling together and did a lot of live shots together, and got to know him. I played the organ for him at Dickey Stevens Park, and he sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Yeah.
That was a great memory, too.
That is played over and over, and that's one of those videos that will forever outlive all of us, and that everybody will be able to look at and say, those two were legends in local TV here.
One of the things that I did, Todd, when I first came here, and this is something that I began to do when I was at my other market in Mobile, is I began to play Christmas music at during the Christmas season. And I would play some Christmas songs on the piano, and they would air at the end of the newscasts. And I started that, and they wouldn't let me stop doing it. It became very popular, and I'm known for it to this day.
Christmas time in Arkansas, you hear it on the radio.
That's a song I wrote. Actually, right after I came here, probably I wrote that song in 1986. I came to Little Rock in very beginning of 1984. And I met a fella who was doing some jingle work for us. His name was Terry Rose. And I got to know Terry. We became friendly, and we started playing some music together. And he was kind of an inspiration for me. And I began to write some music, and that was one of the songs that I wrote. was Christmas Time in Arkansas Again, and I got Terry to sing it for me. And it's still played on radio and television all over the state to this day.
It is.
And the thing that's so great about that and what's so memorable and important for me is that song will still be played long after I'm not here. So it's kind of a little bit of an Arkansas monument maybe, or a treasure.
It's one of those songs that I think captures everybody, and you stop what you're doing and you really go back to the years past with your loved ones that you spent Christmas time with, and it conjures up all those memories of wonderful Christmases growing up here in Arkansas. And you and Terry Rose did that. Terry Rose also has the state song of Arkansas.
Yeah.
That was adopted not long ago.
And he did the jingle for one of our first promotions, which was Spirit of Arkansas. Oh, Arkansas, Spirit of Arkansas. And so that's kind of how I met Terry. And we became real close friends. And he went to work for a while at Fletcher Bensky Furs.
I remember, yeah.
And my daughter has a fur teddy bear, a mink teddy bear.
Wow.
That she still has, that
Wow.
Terry gave her.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So 1980, the year is 83
84.
or 84 that you came in. Television has changed so much.
Really?
Yeah. Well, look what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
But just the things that you have seen in those years that you were in, and things that people don't know.
Television was so incredibly antiquated when I came in. First of all, the thing that people might not realize is back then there were no meteorologists on television at all. They were more entertainers, more wacky weather guys, you know, that knew just enough how to put a high pressure here and draw a cold front or stick it on a metal map with a magnet and tell and write out what the temperature was in Chicago or in Atlanta, because we did a lot of national weather back then too, other than just local, because there wasn't the outlet, there wasn't all this 24-hour cable and all these stations.
When the internet.
It wasn't satellite, there wasn't the internet. So it was very, very difficult to understand how it was like back then. The graphics were, I've seen some of the old graphics that we used, and it's like, oh my gosh.
But it was cutting edge at the time.
It was, and that's what's hard to believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, it was so beginning. There wasn't even radar. I mean,
How did you do severe weather coverage?
oh, well, first of all, I think Channel 7's radar was taken off an old boat. It was a boat radar.
It was a boat
I
radar?
believe so.
Can we
At
maybe
one
make it
time.
sound better, like off a submarine or something like that, sonar?
I'll never forget when we were actually at a Channel 7 Christmas party, and they came to me with a big surprise that they were going with a new system that would put, it was called First Alert. I'll never forget it. And it was a system that as soon as the National Weather Service issued any kind of a severe thunderstorm, flood, tornado warning, or watch, it would automatically put a graphic on the screen and run a crawl.
Yeah.
Before, you want to know what it was like before First Alert?
Yes, I do. It was, you got ink all over your fingers, didn't you?
Oh my gosh, yeah. We had a booklet, and in the booklet were a bunch of black and white, small, this big, small outlines, white outlines of the state of Arkansas.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think it had a 7 logo on it too.
Yeah.
So if there was a severe thunderstorm warning for Hot Springs that was issued by the National Weather Service, I would have to run down to the art department and I would have to get this book of all these little pieces of Arkansas, and I would have to cut it out, and then I would have to take white out and put a big blob where I thought Garland County might be. And then I would have to put the whiteout down, and I would take that, trying to dry it.
Meanwhile, the tornado's on the
Oh,
ground.
yeah. Trying to dry it, and then run down 2 or 3 flights of stairs, and then get a camera and focus it, and then get some spray mount to the back of it, and so my hand and fingers were now all sticky, and I would then put it on this black card and focus it onto the camera, and then call and tell the master control operator to put it on the air. And that didn't even include a crawl.
That time to do that was
15, 20 minutes.
unreal. That's amazing. And now that's all automated.
And sometimes by the time I got it all done,
it was canceled.
The warning would be canceled. That's how incredibly antiquated it was.
So how many times would you wash your hand in severe weather?
It was tough.
Yeah.
But that's how we did. And we did that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so happy when they got first alert.
It was over to me.
It was like a big surprise for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
very grateful for that. And it's just increased so much more.
Yeah. And this, I mean, when you watch severe weather coverage now on TV with the live storm chasers and everything, do you think back, boy, they've got it so good now. they got it all covered so much better than what we had back in the day.
I remember one time, this was, you've probably talked about this many times on the air, but the worst tornado outbreak in Arkansas history was January 21st of 1999, when Arkansas had, I believe, 57 reported tornadoes.
Most in a 24-hour period.
Right. And at the time, we had just bought this little weather car thing, Stormlink 7.
From Barron.
You weren't here at the time.
No, but I remember.
It was really worthless. It didn't do anything. It had flashing lights. It had great paint job. It had purple underneath lights, and it had a place for a laptop in it that didn't really work.
Because you didn't have, how are
We
you?
didn't have internet.
Yeah, what do you have a laptop for?
Well, in effect, you were supposed to be able to pull up radar while you were traveling,
Okay.
but it didn't work very well. And so anyway, we had this big, huge outbreak. This was January 21st, 1999, and meteorologist Barry Brandt had just come to work at the station. So they decided to send him out in this little clown car running around, storm chasing. And I was left at the station for hours and hours.
By yourself.
And hours and hours on end by myself. And it was tough.
Yeah, doing long form coverage like that by yourself, I can't imagine. And that was how many hours were you on the air?
Oh, Todd, I don't know, but it started in the early afternoon, and I think it had moved out of our viewing area probably about 10 or 11 that night.
So that was
long time.
That was in '99. I think it wasn't long after that the American Airlines plane crashed June 1st.
I was there for that.
Yeah.
I was on the air with severe weather, which was part of the reason why Flight 1420, American Airlines.
It was June 1st of that year.
Yeah. So we were having a severe weather episode that night, and I was on the air covering the severe weather when the flight went down. And so I not only was covering the severe weather part of it, but I also started to cover the actual crash emergency.
How did you find out that there was something going on at the airport?
I honestly can't remember.
I remember there were scanners in the newsroom.
Oh, there were.
And
it was probably something like that.
That's what I was.
Somebody was in the newsroom.
Right.
Sure, that's what happened because somebody was in the newsroom, one of the producers or whatever, and they heard what was going on and relayed that information to me. And that's how we began coverage. And I think we had some cameras, maybe some outdoor cameras that kind of got into the direction of the airport at that
Probably
time.
hard to see anything through that thunderstorm, too.
It happened like at midnight.
I also think back to those days, Ned, of the dot matrix printer.
Oh.
And that's how we knew that there was a warning issued by the National Weather Service, is when you heard zzz, 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 and the dot matrix printer going off.
Yeah, that's how we knew there was a warning.
Yeah, and when so that printer would, print out the warning, it would go to air, but then the printer went away. Do you remember what happened when the printer went away? We're like, it's so quiet during severe, we didn't know when warnings were being issued. And I got the sound effects of a dot matrix printer and put it on the computer, so you would have the sound effect of a dot matrix.
So we could at least hear that there's a warning going on.
Right. All right.
I do remember that.
The pants.
Oh, the weather pants.
The weather pants that I didn't know about until there was some moving around of location of the weather center, and then I didn't know the story. I think it was until 2012, 2013 or so.
I don't know where they are right now. I think I bequeathed them to someone.
Somebody's got the weather pants.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about what the weather pants were.
The weather pants, actually, when I started my career in 1978, and in 1979, there was Hurricane Frederick that hit the Gulf Coast at Mobile and devastated the area. And it was my first real foray into severe weather and hurricane systems and all that. And but when I did that, right before I did that, I did the Miss Baldwin County Junior Miss Pageant.
Okay.
And they gave me a brown tuxedo to wear, kind of a brownish khaki.
I could picture it.
Tuxedo to wear to do this pageant. And so I brought it back and I put it in the closet, and I forgot about it. I never even took it back. And so the hurricane hit and ruined a lot of things that were in my closet with water damage. But the one thing that wasn't ruined was this pair of tacky tuxedo pants.
The brown tuxedo.
So what happens, fast forward really quickly to doing live shots. Back then, microwave trucks were just coming in, like how we do this.
And you don't put it up during a storm either.
No. Anyway, I started doing the weather out live.
You did a lot of that.
Yes, a lot of that. And when I came here to Arkansas, I did that a lot. I did every 5 o'clock newscast on the roof of our building. And so I would be out at state fairs or county fairs or different things were going on and doing the weather live. And I would be wearing like blue jeans doing the weather out live. So then I'd come back to the station to do the 10 o'clock news, but I didn't want to take off the jeans.
There it is right there. That was when I took a picture of you getting the weather pants out. That's where you stored them.
The weather pants were adjustable. And what is, I could put them on over
your
whatever
jeans.
I was wearing, the jeans, and they were adjustable, and they were kind of khaki brown, so I could wear them with almost anything, a blue blazer or whatever. So that's how they became the weather pants, because I would come in from a live shot. I didn't want to change pants. I just slipped the weather pants on, and I used them for years.
Yeah. And you don't know where they are to this day.
I don't. I really don't. And you know what, Todd? I don't care.
Well, fast forward to, was it 2018 you retired?
Yes.
Okay, I think we have some
December.
pictures and video of your last show at the Chroma Key Wall. What was that like for you to close out 40 years in TV, 34 of which in Little Rock? What was that last
Well,
time?
the thing about it was Channel 7 made it a very memorable event for me. They made it like it was something special.
It was.
That the years that I put in and what we all went through was something that was a nice accomplishment. And so I felt really good about that. And it was actually really kind of exciting to see that countdown, because it lasted longer than I wanted to, because they couldn't find anybody to do the weekend weather.
Yeah, we finally did.
Yeah, we finally did.
Yeah, there you are, by the way. That was your last weathercast.
Which is another reason why I was really ready to move on because you had a couple of young kids. You had been doing weekends forever. They were in school. They were growing. And I wanted you to kind of get off the weekends.
Yes, I was ready for that.
Yeah,
I think.
bet you were. So anyway, it was time for both of us. And it worked out really well. But it was a great experience. It really was.
Yeah. Well, you left your mark for sure in television forever. That will supersede us when we're long gone from this planet. What are you doing now?
I was going to tell you another story about the weather pants.
Go tell me about the weather pants. Go ahead.
I was wearing the weather pants one night at the 10 o'clock news, and we would wear lavalier microphones, which would clip, the microphone would clip to your coat or your tie or whatever, and the back would fit with a hook onto the back of your pants.
Okay.
Well, I was wearing the weather pants this one night, and they were kind of loose on me anyway, and there wasn't a clip on the lavalier. So I put the mic in the small of my back and started doing the weather. And while I was doing the weather with the weather pants on, the microphone box started to slide down the back of my pants. And they would get further and further down. And then the next thing I know, it was going down the back of my leg. And I was starting to laugh like crazy. And I said, this is all I said, I got to get this thing out of my pants.
Nobody knew what you're talking about.
Then I think they went to a commercial break, and then I explained it. That's a true story.
News director, general manager called, what the heck is wrong with Ned?
I got to get this thing out of my pants.
That's the one I did not hear. That's good.
That's a true one.
All right. See, now that's why you got to find the weather pants. So many memories. What are you doing now? I know what you're doing now.
I'm doing whatever I want to do, which is wonderful.
Right.
I'm doing a lot of nothing or a lot of something. I mean, it's one of the things that I've done and have done. A lot of people probably realize that I'm an artist, and I'm a partner in the art group gallery up in the Pleasant Ridge Town Center. And we've been together for 12 years now up there, and together for 20 years. A lot of people think I started painting when I retired, but actually,
you've been doing that forever.
I've been an artist for 23 years maybe. And so I do that, and I'm really proud of what we've built with the art group gallery. And so that's something that I've always really enjoyed doing.
It's amazing because I've seen some of your paintings. You memorize scenes, or I know you take pictures of things that you see. But
yeah, I use photographs as well.
You do, but you showed me one of Hawksville Creek up in northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, I just finished.
And it's outstanding.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Yep. So I'll get a photograph and I'll use the photograph, but then I'll do it my way and use my colors. And
Oak Lawn is another place that you painted, I'm sure, several times.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
But I also, when I first began painting, I realized that art is a very expensive hobby. So you really have to try to progress to get good enough to be able to sell some of your artwork. And I've been extremely blessed that I've been able to do that through the art group gallery. So that's something that I do now.
That gallery's been there for a long, long time.
Yeah, we're in our 12th year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, before we go, because I don't know how much time, because we got so wrapped up here, I'm not sure how much time. We got about 5 minutes or so left. We worked together. I got to do math off the top of my head. 2005.
18 years.
No, it's 2005 to 2018. So it's 13 years we worked together, right? Don't make me do math right now.
I think it was.
Because I got there in 2005. And then you retired in 2018, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so we worked together for
a long time.
13 years. And I made you a little angry a couple of times.
Not very often.
No, but I did.
You would call for my help in certain matters quite a lot, but that was okay.
You want to tell the story?
Well, no.
I don't care. It was snow. You're mad at me.
I was mad at you because I kind of had a rule. When we were going to have a big snow event, you had to be on the air, right?
Right.
because you
In
had
the morning, I had to do the morning
Exactly,
show. Right.
Yes. And so there was one event that was coming in that looked like it was going to produce a pretty big snow. And and oh gosh, it was right at like it was like Christmas night.
That was a separate time I made you mad.
Oh, the second time? Anyway,
That's another
the
story.
long and the short of this story is that I told Todd, I said, you're doing Daybreak in the morning, and we've got an event coming in that looks like it could be pretty significant.
Right.
And you agreed because you knew it as well. However, you said, I lived in Montana for several years, and I've got a Toyota Corolla with good tires. And I said, Todd, you need to come in, and you
wanted me to stay at a
night,
hotel.
Spend the night in a hotel so you could get in. There were no hills. It was flat. You could get in and do Daybreak in the morning.
Yeah.
I got a call from this guy at like midnight, 1 o'clock.
This was
In
the
the
Christmas snowstorm, I believe.
It was. Yes,
Yeah.
it was. That he couldn't get out because there were like 12 inches, a foot of snow.
And trees blocking the roads out of my neighborhood.
And I was so angry with you because I told you to go in, stay in a hotel so you could get in. And so I got up, and I don't think I'd ever done Daybreak. Maybe once.
I don't think you knew there was one, to be honest with you.
And so I'm out there in my garage. My daughter is out there crying, trying to get chains on the tires so I can get in to do your job that you didn't do for me.
Let's give you the happy ending. Give everybody a happy ending. I was able to get out of my neighborhood.
Yes, you
I
were.
walked out, and a photographer picked me up in a church parking lot about a mile down the road at 2 o'clock in the morning
And that
drove
phone
me
call
in.
from you was the best phone call
See?
I ever had.
See?
Because I went back to bed.
Yep, you did. I apologize 13 years later, right? Or however long it's
I'll
been.
never forget that.
Yeah, I won't either. There was also that one time I think we purposefully played a prank on you where you, in the same situation, you wanted us to stay in a hotel room. I was like, no, I can drive. I never stay in a hotel room. I'll just drive in the morning.
Oh.
But I got there, and so did the whole morning show and all that. And then I sent you a text saying that I had got stranded. The state police had to get me out and pick me up, and I was stuck. And I never got anything back from you. And I thought, oh, he knows I'm joking around. You did. You came in, I think. So, I mean, you're pretty livid.
A little bit.
And I had to.
A little bit.
And it was just a joke. I've been here, so I apologize.
You used to do a bunch of jokes and pranks on me, for sure.
I'm sorry.
But I will tell you, Todd, before we leave, that I was so incredibly blessed to be in this business for as long as I was in it.
Not many people, very few, got to the point of longevity as you.
Well, I loved every minute of it. That's my point. I loved all the tailgate parties with the cheerleaders. I loved everything about my job. I was very blessed to have this job because it wasn't like it was a job. It just was something that I really enjoyed for all those years. I did.
Well, and I can say I wouldn't be sitting right here today if it wasn't for you.
Oh,
And I'm sorry for the bad moments from time to time, but we got through it.
We did.
And all the severe weather coverage through the years of babysitting storms and tornado watches and long-form tornado coverage. That
people don't realize how often you're here and
Yeah.
how late you're here.
Right. And the things you do to survive through an overnight to make sure storms get covered. But I wouldn't be where I am today without you, Ned, is the bottom
Thank
line.
you. And thank you so much for having me as the first guest on your show.
Too twisted for TV.
Yeah.
Was it too twisted or just a little twisted? It was just right.
It was just right.
All right. Do we want to talk about Jason Peterson jumping off your roof? Do we want to save that for another time?
We've got
Okay, real quick. One last story. So Ned had to get together with everybody at your house.
we had just moved in, And we actually built a swimming pool.
Right.
And so we finished it and moved in. And so I thought, well, let's just have a party. And parties are parties, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
And people
can.
think of Jason Peterson as a straight-laced reporter.
Yeah. Jason somehow got a ladder out of my garage and got on my roof and decided to jump off my roof into the pool. He did that. And my insurance agent was one of the people at the party. And he was not happy.
I just remember you going, Peterman!
Yeah.
You called him Peter.
I would never call him by his right name.
That's right. Thank you so much, Ned.
Thank you, Tom.
That was like a bonus story there.
Thanks.
All right. That was Too Twisted for TV. We hope that you enjoyed this and keep watching for more episodes. And this has been KARK Fox 16 Plus, Too Twisted for TV. Have a great rest of your day.